instead of deciding to build the most modern possible effective road links between our cities, we were to leave old-fashioned and inefficient roads in their place. I imagine what that would mean for the car industry, and what would that mean for the services delivered by road transport. And exactly the same thing is happening here when we talk about electronic or digital communications. We cannot wait to establish the most effective means of communication because our economy and our citizens need to communicate at a European scale, and they need to reap all the benefits afforded by this more modern and effective form of communication. So I'll come to conclusion. I'd just like to take this opportunity of being here with Member States representatives to launch an appeal to the Member States, because their role is crucial, their role is decisive. If we are to be able to arrive at a situation in the near future whereby information can use the digital highways that have the greatest effectiveness to promote the prosperity and well-being of the citizens of Europe and give a boost to the European economy. There's a political, social and economic responsibility to bear of enormous proportions here. So I'm concluding with this appeal to Member States to act quickly, to take these decisions quickly. They are a matter of urgency for the digital economy of Europe.
Thank you. I think the relevance of what Ms. de Castillo just pointed out here cannot be overestimated. So I will give the opportunity to our keynote speakers to make a short comment on what Ms. de Castillo just said here. The Commissioner first, Ms. Kroes.
Thank you so much. I couldn't agree more. It's urgency, urgency, urgency. Time is not solving problems, so let us start. Would you mind if I add one other big and important issue to that? For it is an appeal to the Member States. Yes, it is. But it's not only talking about urgency, it's also talking about consistency. And the consistency, in my opinion, means, and I'm not addressing you, for you are consistent, not only during the summit, but during your delivery of your thoughts up front the summit, and we are quite capable to communicate and just tackling difficulties, and we are not willing to accept a difficulty as a barrier. We are only tackled by challenges, and that makes sense. And my second issue that I would like to add to the urgency is consistency. And what do I mean with that? And that is when, for example, and let me be straightforward, I'm Dutch, so you are expecting that. When a decision is taken in the Council, and I'm just looking at Francisco, when a decision is taken in the Council, then it should be defended at home and not attacked at home by the same people who did agree upon during the Council. And that means that we all have to follow what is going to happen in the Member States. For if the Member States are saying yes in this surrounding of Brussels, then we can say, that's great, let's go for it. But if they are going back home and then not taking it full-fledged as their own part of the decision, then we are indeed losing time, but also opportunities. And it was said before, it's not a matter of we can afford to be a little bit slower, to be very careful in our decision-making process, and again an assessment and what have you, and so on and so forth. We need to be aware that the outside world, and it was mentioned by all the speakers this morning, that the outside world, and by the way, our own citizens, are just not waiting till we are there. So urgency and consistency of the decision makers, and we will follow them, and you can of course also tackle me if I'm not consistent. So that is a two-way traffic. But I will do my utmost to speed up this whole procedure, and if we could make the deal today, not only with the members of parliament, but all the participants, that we are going for it, then I'm in the mood for just speeding up what has to be done.
All right, take that, dear member states. Very well-placed words, I must say. Mr. Rosperan, what is your answer to that?
Should I use English or Spanish? Let's have them working a little bit. So, bueno, en primer lugar.
Well, first of all, I think there's been widespread agreement about the urgency of this matter. And the need for us to act urgently. Commissioner Cruz nuanced this, saying that as well as taking urgent decisions, you have to take consistent decisions. And I would also say that as well as acting urgently, it's important as well that you provide legal certainty and transparency. What Europe can't afford to do is to continue in a state of uncertainty as regards the main lines of its action in the information society and with regard to the spectrum.